And boom, baby, welcome to the show. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Draft Nights. It's your boy, Freddie. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are on, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, The Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and we are also on TuneIn. You can also find us on Twitter, just at Draft Nights Podcast, and you'll be able to find us. You can reach out to us, hit us all up, try to follow us to keep the show growing and everything like that. If you see us on any of your podcast stations, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart. Make us one of your favorites so that you can stay in tuned, and it really helps out the show and getting the voice out about us and getting all the helping us grow and everything like that. We really appreciate it. I know it's been a long time. Today is April 21st, the time of recording this. I know the last episode was on March 23rd, I think it was. Sorry about the month-long hiatus. A lot's been going on. Mike, my co-host, he actually recently had a child. He just recently had a baby, so congratulations to him. And we've all just been going through this coronavirus thing. A lot of financial hardships been going on and everything like that. And I just hope that you, wherever you're listening, I hope you are safe. I hope you are healthy, and I hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope you are taking care of yourself and your family. Hope everybody stays safe out there and everything like that. So, on today's topic, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different topics. We're going to talk about a little bit of the NFL. Not much of the NBA because of all the whole coronavirus thing. We're going to talk about something that I really, really like. Something I'm really, really passionate about as well as sports. I'm really passionate about movies, so I'll tell you out there my opinions on the movies that's been out recently, and movies that I think are really good, movies that I think are alright, and really trash. So I hope you guys really enjoy that. Also, I'm going to talk about a few other things, like some of the people that I really follow, some funny things that I've heard and online and everything like that, and on comedy shows and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. So, breaking news today: the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just acquired. Okay, they just acquired Rob Gronkowski from the Patriots. The Patriots gave up Rob Gronkowski, who was a tight end. He's he's top 100 tight ends, one of the best tight ends in the game, and a 7th round pick. So they gave up Rob Gronkowski and a 7th round pick to the Buccaneers. In exchange, the Buccaneers gave him a 4th round pick. This is insane news because, as you should know, if you are a fan of sports at all, you have Tom Brady down there already in Tampa Bay, preparing his body, preparing his mind, preparing to work with his team. And now he got one of his best weapons he has ever had in his entire career. It's like Randy Moss, number 1, number 2 is Gronkowski, man. And that team is gonna, if Rob Gronkowski can be anything that he used to be, as great as he used to be, as great as he was, if he could be just a sliver or 50% or 60% of that, the Buccaneers are going to have an insane offense along with the insane defense. I mean, they was top 5 in defense last year. That division that the Bucs are going to be in along with Tom Brady, it's going to be insane. I mean, it's just going to be crazy how explosive and how hard that division is going to be to get out of, because, oh my goodness, you have Drew Brees, you have the Falcons, who you know they're not going to give up, and you also have the Panthers. Now you have the Bucks. That division is going to be one of the toughest divisions in football. I just believe it. I mean, I don't see any other division out there that's harder than that division. I mean, they just went from 0 to hero like so fast, like 0 to 100, just boom, like they're contenders right now, man. It's absolutely insane. And pretty much it just shows that what's crazy is that I think Gronk has been retired for about a year or two now, and he didn't come back when last year. And what does it say? You know, what does it say to all of us that Gronk would rather not play with Brady while he was on the Patriots, but would rather play with Brady while he's on the Buccaneers? Like, what is that message? Is that a message being sent? Like, what does that have to say? Like, what do you think is that? You know what I'm saying? What is all that dynamic? I want to hear your voices. I want to hear your thoughts. You know, hit us up on Twitter at Draft Nights Pod, and, you know, give us your opinions, give us your thoughts and views and everything like that. Also, I have a giveaway at the end of this recording, at the end of this podcast, that you guys are going to really, really like and really, really going to appreciate. So I hope you guys stay to the end of this so you can hear my giveaway. I think you guys are really going to like this, especially in the coronavirus situation. And hope you guys do follow us and hit us up on Twitter for that. So, yeah. That's one of the biggest sports news coming out right now. Another thing, there was a documentary. I haven't watched it yet or seen it yet, but I hope many of you have done. That's what we're going to be talking about in our next podcast, the Michael Jordan series that's on ESPN. If you have Hulu as well, I think you're able to watch it also. That's going to be a fascinating show to watch and everything like that. That's going to be a topic that's going to be discussed on our next show. Just a little bit of a heads up so that you know what's coming up on the next show. Okay? Now, that's as much sports as we have going on. Like, I want to know also, like, what you guys have been doing during this whole coronavirus thing. I've been at work, so I'm an essential worker. So I'm still out here on the streets and going to work every morning, doing my job, coming home exhausted and everything like that, you know. So I'm still out here, but on the days that I have off, you know, I just been watching a lot of TV shows and also a lot of movies. I did have a Harry Potter marathon, and also a Avengers Marvel kind of marathon going on during the weekend. So that's what I was doing. What kind of shows do you guys like to watch? Like, what have you been doing to keep yourself entertained during this whole coronavirus thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, let us know on Twitter and everything like that. So one of the things I've been doing is watching all these great movies, such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Bad Boys for Life, The Gentleman. You know, I've seen a lot of different movies like Dolittle with Robert. I keep forgetting his name. Why I just blanked out on his name right now? Robert Downey Jr. Duh. Hello, Iron Man. I saw Birds of Prey, the what's it called? Harley Quinn movie, Onward. I seen Star Wars and things like that, and I saw Jumanji: The Next Level, and also Frozen. So we're gonna talk about those movies a little bit. So the number one movie we're gonna talk about, the first movie we're gonna talk about, is Sonic the Hedgehog. So if you don't know what Sonic the Hedgehog is, I don't understand. I don't know what to tell you, but it's pretty much based off a game. It's a hedgehog that he has the ability or the superpower to run really, really fast, and he comes from that universe. So, they made a live action movie out of it. Now, in my opinion, from 1 to 5, 1 being not great at all, to 5 stars being extremely great. Sonic the Hedgehog is so good that it's worth a rewatch. It's that good. Like, you can watch that movie at least 3 to 4 times. If you're a movie lover, you can watch that movie about 3 to 4 times and not get tired of it. That's how good it is. If you can watch a movie like 3 to 4 times before you get tired of it, that's an amazing movie. It's an amazing movie. I mean, it was so good. Everything about it was good. The acting was good. Jim Carrey was so good in this movie, man. So good in this movie. He had his serious moments, but also he had his funny moments. It was so good. The graphics, the way they made Sonic look. There was a huge, big fight online the first time Sonic the Hedgehog was brought out, where he was first announced that there was gonna be a live action movie from him, and they made him look too realistic, but they went back, and I think that they got the original creator of Sonic the Hedgehog to come in and fix him a little bit, and Sonic looked perfect. Okay, Sonic looked absolutely perfect. Sonic was perfect. Sonic was so good. Sonic was so funny. Sonic was the best. Like who you expected Sonic to be, he really was. And that's why this movie, in my opinion, is like 5 out of 5 rewatch at least 3 to 4 times, because this movie was so good. Definitely, so really good. Really good. Now we're going to talk about Bad Boys for Life. The final Bad Boys of the Bad Boys series. It's like the Bad Boys trilogy. They haven't worked with each other or made this movie in so long. So long. But it is Martin Lawrence with Will Smith, where they are Miami cops. And they're just, doing their thing. So, in my view, how good was this movie? I'm not going to tell you guys what exactly happened in these movies. I'm definitely not going to tell you what happened. I'm not going to spoil you anything. I'm not going to tell you what happened in Sonic. I'm not going to tell you what happened in any of the movies I'm talking about right now, because I don't like spoilers. I don't want to do spoilers, but there are so many good scenes in Sonic. You guys have to watch it now. And there's so many good scenes in Bad Boys 2, where you still got the original cast. You still got, obviously you got Martin Lawrence, obviously you got Will Smith, but also you still have Will Smith's you still have the captain. Oh man, that guy is so funny being captain, because he represents the captain so well. Let's get stressed out by these just 2 knucklehead cops that destroy and shoot up everything. And then they try to get away with it. It's just hilarious, man. I think in the previews there was a garage scene where Will Smith is shooting at a whole bunch of people. And he said, and the captain comes in there. He's really upset, and he says to Will, he says to Will, "You didn't shoot anybody in here?" He was like, "Come on, Captain. I shot people." He was like, "Yeah, I know." Oh man, it was so good. So it had a lot of funny parts. It had a lot of serious parts too. My rating for it, I would say this is about I want to say around a 3.5, 4 stars. Okay, a 3.5, 4 stars, because like it lingered a little bit longer than it really needed to. You know, I was hoping for a little bit more action than it had, because there was a lot of talking, a lot of not so much, action going on and everything like that. And but there was some action, like the fight scenes and the shooting scenes and the explosive scenes. Those things did happen, but there were times where I was just like, all right, like I came here to see guns being shot at and things being exploded. It's a Michael Bay film. Come on, you gotta have the exploding cars. I mean, that's his like thing, because Michael Bay also directed all of the Transformer movies, so his thing with explosions is just it's just what he does. So I give it a 4 stars. Is it a rewatch? I wouldn't. I think I would watch it just like one time, and like I wouldn't want to watch it again until like at least a month later. Like at least you got to give me a good 3 or 4 weeks until I watch it again, because it is a long movie, and there aren't any like scenes that really like make you wanna like really memorable, if that makes sense. And I felt like when I first watched it, I caught everything in the movie, so to rewatch it again, I think it would just be like something else could capture my attention. Like I would drift off and play, like it would be like background noise. Like I would play a game, or I would be on Facebook or something like that. Like, those movies that I say like are rewatchable are like movies that you would not lose your focus on it. You know what I'm saying? It will be like you're watching the same time. You're watching it for the first time, I should say. So yeah, Bad Boys for Life, 3.5, 4 stars. It's still a good movie. Talk about The Gentleman. The Gentleman with all right. What's his name? Man, why am I blanking out right now? I'm so sorry, guys. What is his name? And I'm on my phone, guys. So give me a second. Crap. Hold on. The problem is, if I do that, right, sometimes, if I use my phone while I'm recording, it sometimes cuts out, which is something I don't want. Matthew McConaughey, of course, man. It's Matthew McConaughey. Duh. Can't believe I forgot his name. But yeah, so here's the premise. Here's pretty much what the Gentleman is about. It's about an American man who is from, I think, Oklahoma, or is one of the southern states. Came from pretty much a dirt poor town. Found his way to move across to Cambridge. Like, he was really smart in school and stuff like that, but he found his way to like England and stuff like that. Started his whole life over there. Becomes a huge marijuana, I guess you could say, drug lord or something like that. And he's trying to get out of the business, right? But ends up, things happen that end up him not being able to get out, so he pretty much stays and everything like that. So But there's so many things that happen in this movie. It's like so good. So good. This is a 5 stars out of 5. Must rewatch. It's a lot of great acting in here. A lot of great moments. It makes you think. It keeps you at the edge of your seat. Very suspenseful. Very thrilling. Has its good moments, has its funny moments. There are some fight scenes. There are some, how do you say, gunfights and stuff like that. This movie is just really good. Like, I think I would need to rewatch this movie. I think you could rewatch this movie about 2 times to make sure you catch everything that happened in the movie, because you're not going to catch everything that happens in this movie. You're just not. You have to watch it at least 2 times in order to catch everything. It's so good, guys. I'm telling you right now. You got Hugh Grant. You got Colin Farrell's in this movie. You have Jeremy Strong. This guy, you might not know this guy, Jeremy Strong, but he plays such a great character in this movie. It's not even funny. Charlie Hunnam, who plays the right-hand man of Matthew McConaughey in this movie. And I really think that you guys would definitely, if you guys like drug movies, movies about drugs and movies about drug lords and gangsters and stuff like that, you guys are going to really enjoy this movie. So I get a 5 stars out of 5 because it's rewatchable. Let's see. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr. This movie, man, I would have to. This movie's not a good movie. I'm sorry, Robert Downey. I love you in Iron Man, and I love you in the Avengers and everything like that. And I love you in a lot of your movies, but I loved Sherlock Holmes and everything like that. But this movie was one of your worst. I would give this movie 2 stars out of 5 because it was just so bad. It just really was so bad. Like, it's not even funny. Like, the only reason why it's not even a 1 is because you just get a point for having Robert Downey Jr. in it. Really isn't worth the rewatch. It didn't. It might have told me why or how he got his power to talk to animals, but I don't even want to rewatch it to find out. That's how bad it is. And I'm sorry, but that's it, man. I mean, yeah, they had animals talking, and these animals seem like they need a lot of therapy, though. But it is. If you want to watch it, man, because you're a Robert Downey Jr. fan, I get it. But if you're not a Robert Downey Jr. fan, and yeah, I would rather not watch it. I wouldn't even recommend it to you. No, and I feel bad about it, but it's not really a good movie. Sorry. Alright. The Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey. Alright, so this was a very anticipated movie. This movie was like promoted a whole bunch. This movie was like I want to say the sequel to Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was so good, by the way, so good. I hope they do more of it. I hope they do better with it and everything like that. How many stars do I give this movie? I'm giving this movie 3 stars. Exactly 3 stars. It wasn't all that great. Yeah, it wasn't all that great. It was alright, you know. It just simply was alright. You had some cool characters in there, some cool villains, like, what's his name? Give me a second, let me think. Who's this villain? Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, you have Black Mask on this movie. Yeah, who's have Black Mask in this movie, who is who was the main villain. It all starts off as, it's all about Harley Quinn, like right after, not too far in the distance after the Suicide Squad whole situation, and then pretty much they all find out Harley Quinn blows this place up, and then I guess she told on herself because of this, and then after she did that, it made everybody know that Harley Quinn and the Joker are pretty much over. And as soon as that happened, like, there was a bounty on her head, or she was pretty much public enemy number one, So she was mostly being defended by the reputation of being the Joker's girl. And once she lost that title, it was like she was fair game, and everybody was going to go after her, and pretty much almost a lot of people did. A lot of people did. How she survived and everything like that is another story to itself. I mean, only in the movies that a person like that could survive all that she went through in order to survive after pretty much having the whole world against her. And yeah, so a lot of things happen in the movie. A lot of fight scenes. The fight scenes are a bit much. Hard to believe, a lot of it. But it wasn't all that, It really wasn't all that. And yeah, that's why I give it a 3 stars out of 5, because it's an alright movie, but it's not a great movie. It's not an amazing movie. It's an alright movie, if that makes sense. So, I mean, if you really want to watch it, but outside of that, not really. Onward. Okay, so this movie is a really good movie. It's about 2 brothers on I think it's a Pixar movie. It's 2 brothers on a quest to try to find, or try to bring back their father who passed away, because the youngest son, he never met his father, so he wanted the opportunity to meet him. And in this world, it went from, if you ever played or ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons, it's sort of like that, right? But now, instead of the characters being wizards or warriors or rogues or X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Their world got modernized, right? So they discovered electricity. They made cars, they made houses. So they lost their way as far as what's it called? As far as the world of magic is concerned, so as they modernized, the less that they needed to deal with magic, but you still they were themselves, there were still elves, there were still manatees, there's still ogres, there's still all these different different creatures that they're now coexisting with each other, stuff like that. They're making streets, they're making schools and high schools and colleges and all these different things, so so these two guys, they go on a quest to try to bring back their father and see him once again and everything like that. So they bring a lot of different things, a lot of different things happen as a D&D quest starts to happen, and things like that. So it's a really great movie. It's a tearjerker if you have if you're an emotional person, and if you cry through a lot of things, this one make you cry. I'll tell you that much right now. It's just the absolute truth. But this movie, I would give it 4 stars out of 5. Is it rewatchable? Sure, but it's still a good movie. A lot of good things happen in this movie. Very emotional, very thrilling. It's a feel-good movie too. It's pretty good. I think Chris Pratt is in it, and also the kid who's Spider-Man. I'll tell you right now. Cast of Onward. You got Chris Pratt. Let me see. What's going on? Tom Holland. Okay, that's who it is. Obviously, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt is in it. A lot of stars are in it. A lot of really good cast members. What else we got? Ali Wong is in here. Got Octavia Spencer. She's in here. It's a really good movie, really good family film. Really, I would recommend it and everything like that. Like, it's a really good movie. I'll give it 4 stars. It's a really feel-good movie. I would really recommend it. All right, what we got? Jumanji: The Next Level. Oh, I absolutely love Jumanji. This movie, for me, is a 5 out of 5. This movie is rewatchable. It's so funny. It's so good. Basically, what happens is we're going back to the guys. We're going back to the original crew. And I think his name is Spencer. Yeah, Spencer is out in New York. And, Brittany is traveling the world, doing some community service, some type of stuff, like army, was it? She's doing some type of charity thing that they help people in other countries. They build houses and XYZ. We have what's it called? What is it called? We got the football player. He's in college and he's, doing his thing. I think he went to a Division I college. He's still working out and everything like that. And he's also, doing good in school. And you have Brittany, I think it is. She's also in college, but he's also having a great time and everything like that. So the only dude, it all starts off with Spencer. He's just really having a hard time with school and grades and everything like that. He's not really too happy. So he decides to go back into the game, which sets it all up to the shenanigans, right? But also in this movie you have Spencer's grandfather and also Spencer's grandfather's friend. right? Milo and Eddie. That's what their name is. Milo and Eddie. They were friends back in a long time ago. They had a restaurant together and everything like that, and then they have their issues because Eddie is mad at Milo. I'm not gonna tell you why, but he's holding a grudge. But you won't know until you watch the movie. So I 100% tell you to watch the movie. There's a lot of fight scenes, a lot of funniness, a lot of laughter. Jack Black is so good in this movie. I just absolutely love Jack Black. The Rock is hilarious in this movie. Obviously, Kevin Hart is funny in this movie. Like, this movie is so good, man. I definitely 5 out of 5 rewatch. You must watch it, man. It's so good, so good. And let's see. I also watched these 2 other movies. One of them is called Call to the Wild. It's about funny enough, it's about a dog. It's really about a dog. Obviously CGI, but he's a huge dog. But he's like a Scooby-Doo type of dog, like a Scooby-Doo type of character where he gets into a bunch of trouble. He eats a lot, and does a lot of things to get on people's nerves. But he's a really good dog. He's a really loyal dog. But this dog, things happen to this dog that leads him into the situation where he needs to adapt a whole bunch of times and to a whole bunch of different things. And he's a really smart dog for this. And then he just ends up, going from being a house dog to a dog that ends up in the wilderness, right? Just living amongst a pack of other dogs. So, but the journey of him going from house dog, who is from like a small town, because we're talking about like this movie's like they made this movie sound look so old, like it's around the gold rush area. So I want to say in the probably like the 1800s, or not late 1800s, early 1900s, and yeah. I can't tell you much about this movie, because if I tell you anything about this movie, like, it's gonna give a lot of it away. But yeah, this dog becomes from a house dog to a working dog to his own, his own dog. So he's at the end of the movie, he becomes his own man. It's a really nice story. It's a really touching story. I would give this movie like a 3 out of 5 stars, because it's not too memorable, but it's still a good movie. It's an alright movie. Would I recommend people watch it? Yeah, I would watch it. It is a feel-good movie. It's really, like, if you can just go through it appreciating one thing about the movie, is that that there is a lot of, they really went in depth into telling this dog's story. And it's really eye-opening, it really shows like the struggle of a person's life can be, or how it can go left and right, and how you need to adapt to your surroundings and be open and willing to adapt to new situations and new things. If anything, that's what this movie tells almost pretty much anyone. So, yeah. Another movie I watched was, I could talk about this all day, man. The Vin Diesel movie called Bloodshot. Wow, Bloodshot is a really good movie. I would give it 4.5 stars. I would really give it 4.5 stars. The only reason why I give it 4.5 stars is because I didn't really like the ending too much. I was hoping there would be more, but I think, like, you know, it ended the way it ended. So, what's Bloodshot? So, this is a movie about a soldier who gets killed, but he is, how do you say, he was experimented on to become this type of soldier where his body can heal itself, you know, sort of like a Wolverine thing, but like much faster, I would say. So yeah, it's kind of like a human being turned into like a Wolverine by these many nano bots, or whatever the fuck you want, or whatever you want to call it. And but he discovers that the way they're going about selecting his targets is fake, you know. So they see that his drive or his motivation to get the job done, no matter what, is to avenge his wife. Now, the only thing is, they implanted these memories in him. So the events that took place in his memories didn't actually happen, but it gave him the motivation to carry out what they wanted him to do. So the movie just talks about that and his way of getting out of that. This movie is really good. A lot of fight scenes, a lot of shooting scenes, a lot of explosions. You can see the conflict that's going on within, you know, the people doing it and the people, you know, who don't want to do it anymore. They're in a battle within themselves to see if they, you know, to make themselves feel like, should we stop? Should we not stop? Had this gone long enough? You know, what do we need to do to, you know, fix the situation X, Y, and Z? You know, so there's a lot of things like, you know, there's a lot of internal feelings going on in this movie, but also it's a really good movie. It's really funny. Some parts are really funny. You thoroughly entertaining. I'll give it that. And I would give it 4.5 stars. And it could be a rewatch. It definitely could be a rewatch. That's why I'm getting a 4.5 stars. It could be a rewatch. There might have been some things I missed the first time around, but it's a good movie, man. It's a really, really good movie. I dig it. Let's see. What else? Oh, we have these last two movies I'm talking about, and these will be the last two movies I'll end the podcast with. One of them is called The Banker. Now, The Banker is definitely, man, a 5-star movie. If you want to rewatch it, you can rewatch it. It's a really, really good movie. It's about it's mostly about one guy, but you know, you have Samuel L. Jackson in it and everything like that. It's about these really two guys. So it revolves around this one guy who, this is during the period of segregation, and also Jim Crow and X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. It's about a black man who wanted to learn how to make, from a young age, wanted to learn how to make money the way white people do. So he taught himself investment and how to invest in property and X, Y, and Z, how to raise money and all these different things. And this is like a true story. So if you really like true stories and also stories that happened back in the day, The Banker is a really good movie for you to watch. So it just talks about this guy's success of being a really good real estate investor, and then he goes from being a black real estate investor to being a one of the wealthiest black men in America during the 1950s and 1960s. And then he goes from real estate into investment banking, or banking pretty much. And he gets caught up because he tried back in those days to uplift his community. And back in those days, white people weren't trying to have all that. So, but it just shows his come up, and then his his drop off. And it ends not the greatest way, but it's the reality. It ends how it ended, and yeah, but it's a really, really inspirational story. It's a really, really good story. It's a 5 out of 5. A really good movie. Rewatch if you're into like those true back in the day uplifting stories where a person went from struggle to rags and riches to story, or if went from struggling, personal self, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps kind of thing, and uplifting oneself to getting to where they wanted to be. If you're really into that movie's the movie for you. The Banker, definitely, it's a really, really good movie. I would definitely recommend. And the last movie I want to talk about is a movie called Just Mercy. It's about it's a true story. It's about a black man who moves from, I think, Chicago to Alabama, to the south in Alabama during the same period, I think in the 1980s or something like that. I don't know how old this guy is right now, but he started the he pretty much, it was like his first case where he helps people, especially black inmates on death row, get out of prison. And he takes on cases, and you just see all the stuff he had to go through, all the loops and all the hoops, all the obstacles he had to go through in order to get all these, these people out of jail who are innocent, who were wrongfully convicted of murder. And he tries to save their life by, doing a retrial of their cases. And what he really does is he tries to do his best to get them out of jail so that they don't, they're not killed by the state. And most of the time he wins. Sometimes he loses, but you see like this one particular case where a man was clearly innocent, but he was in jail for like 6 years before he came and was able to help him get out of jail. Especially when he lost hope within himself. I'm talking about the prisoner. He lost hope that he would, and he just believed that, came to terms with the fact that he might die in prison. And but he gave him this lawyer from, graduated from Harvard, came and brought his hope back and was able to get this man out of jail, innocent man out of jail. So yeah, if you're really into those movies, if you're really into those heart-lifting and true stories, and these movies that go, to see a person who's trying to do the right thing, have to go through all these struggles and all these different things to, do the right thing. If you're really into those movies, Just Mercy, it's a really good movie. It's with Michael B. Jordan, right? The same guy that played in Creed, right? And Creed, and then same from the Rocky movies, and also the same guy who played in what's it called? The Wakanda movie, and the Black Panther movie. Killmonger. He was Killmonger in those movies. So in that movie. So if you really like Michael B. Jordan, if you're really a big fan of him, watch the movie, and you're gonna really, really enjoy it. So almost about an hour. I've been going at it by myself for like 51 minutes. If you are still here, I really appreciate you listening to the whole thing. I really enjoy your time talking to you guys. Again, if you want to reach out to us, please follow us, please like us on all these different podcast platforms. We're on TuneIn as well, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Overcast, and everything like that. We're on Twitter as well, Draft Nights Podcast. You can reach out to me, follow us, like us, hit me up, and I'll respond to you and everything like that. I'll give you a special shout out on the show. The giveaway. All right, so here's my giveaway. Right, that's what I'm doing for my giveaway. If you follow us, right, on any of your podcast platforms, you have to follow us. You have to follow us on Twitter, right, and you have to share us, right, and give us a like. If you do that, I'll give you two things, right? Give you two things. One, I give you a website where you can watch these movies for free. Don't tell anyone. Okay. I'll give you, just message me telling me that you did it, right? I'll give you a website where you can watch these movies for free. Okay. And if you have any student loan debt, right? Any student loan debt. I know someone who can help you with your student loan debt. I was paying $250 every month for the next 20 years. Now, and with this guy's help, I was able to bring it all the way down to $40 a month. Look at that. I just saved myself so much money with just that one thing. So if you are a person who just wants to watch something new, want to watch all these movies I'm talking about, but they're not on Netflix, they're not on Hulu, they're not on Disney Plus and all this other stuff, I got you, right? I know where to go. I can give you the information. And also, if you are struggling with student loan debt right now, I can help you out with that too. Just hit me up on Twitter, give us a like on our podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, and also share us and follow us on Twitter. Do all that stuff, man, and boom, I'll give you all the information. You'll just inbox me like, hey, I did everything you requested. Can I get either? You could get either both the website to watch all these movies, or you could get the information on how to save money on your student loans, or both. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. All right, guys? Well, thank you for listening to the show. This was Draft Nights. My name's Freddie. I hope you enjoy the show and I hope you stay safe and take care of everybody. All right? Thank you. Bye.